up when I'm my best friend. I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, yeah man. Cause we've been through it all. You pick me up when I fall. You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend. Girl, I don't know about you, but I can't go another day without my baby. My best friend, she my lover. Girl, I don't know about you, but I will count my blessings. Girl, please know everything we've been through is just a lesson. Girl, I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, amen. Cause we've been through it all. You pick me up when I fall. You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend. And even though you heard a lot of things too, don't forget everything we've been through. I hope you know that I will never hurt you, baby girl. And yeah, I was a little bit toxic, but girl, you know this love is like magic. I hope you know that I just wanna love you, baby. I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, yeah man. Cause we've been through it all. You pick me up when I fall. You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend. Who can take this love away? Know that I am here to stay. I can't go a day without you in my life. I am never giving up. No, I am never giving in. As long as we're together, I'm alright. Girl, I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, yeah man. Cause we've been through it all. You pick me up when I fall. You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend. Just part the life. I'm so grateful, and I'm so thankful for life, for love. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so thankful. Girl.
Greetings, greetings, greetings and salutations, one and all.
Forever.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It's Real Talk Night.
You pick me up when I.
And believe me, I'm gonna love you forever.
My best.
Kicking it off with Stig, the artist.
Know about you, but I can't go another.
Track called Love You Forever.
That my baby, my best friend, she my lover. Girl, I don't know.
I wanna say big ups to each and everyone locked in right now.
Count my blessings.
Those on TuneIn Radio, much love to you. On the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew.
Girl, I'm gonna love you forever.
Big ups to the New Jersey Massive. Locked in on NIE Radio.
Amen.
With New Jersey's finest, the Motivator.
Through it all. You pick.
Remember, you can lock into the Motivator.
You're my lover, girl. You're
Thursdays, but Double Trouble Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern.
And even though you heard a lot of things too,
And Saturdays for Motivation Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern.
know that I will never hurt you, baby girl. And
Much love, the Motivator.
but girl, you know this love is like magic. I hope
Big ups to those locked in on the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com out of South Florida.
love you forever.
Big ups Mr. Twinkle Toes himself, the veteran in the business, Clinton Lindsay.
Yeah, man.
I like in with him at noon every day, Monday through Thursday.
You're my lover, girl, you're my best.
And get a special treat on Sundays
Who can take this
at
love?
about 4 in the afternoon.
Know that I am here to stay. I can't go a day without you in my life. I am never giving up.
I want to say much love to those out of Long Island, New York. Locked in on Reggae Pulse Radio. With DJ Atomic Force on the crew.
I love you forever.
Can't catch Atomic Force on a Monday night.
Yeah, man.
Catch me again on a Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Up when I fall. You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend. Just part the life. I'm so grateful, and I'm so thankful for
What are you grateful for? Who are you thankful for?
Forever. Forever.
I'm grateful and thankful for my segment sponsors.
Cause we've been through it all.
Like Pulse Media Group and Big in the Moment, it's priceless. Go ahead and connect with them. They take care of your videos, your photos, your streaming, your advertising, and much, much more. They do everything you see here on KevinStew.com and so much more.
My best friend,
for me, they even host the website KevinStew.com on the Pulse Media servers.
Everything we've been through is just a lesson.
But I take it a step further. They provide me with the streaming services that you see on KevinStew.com.
Forever and ever.
And they can stream for you too. So whether you have a church service, a wedding, a funeral, a party, a graduation, a seminar, and you want to stream it on a secure platform, whether yours or theirs, call them up. 754-999-1140. That's 754-999-1140.
Hope you know that I will never hurt you, baby.
Tell them Kevin Stew sent you.
Was a little bit toxic, but girl, you know this love is like magic. I hope you know that I just wanna love you, baby. I'm gonna love you forever. Forever.
I wanna say big ups to the massive out of ATL. Hey Ebony.
You pick me up when I fall.
Approaching one more trip around the sun.
You're my best friend.
I remember.
Who can take this love away? Know that I am here to stay.
Big ups to the 5-star general out of the UK.
I am never giving up. No, I am never giving in. As long as we're together, I'm alright. Girl, I'm gonna love you forever. Forever.
Yo, Jay, everything good, bro?
Man, cause we've been through it all. You pick me up when I
want to say thank you to Althea and her healing heavenly hands.
Girl, you're my best.
I kind of got carried away there.
Just part the life. I'm so grateful.
Althea is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you, bringing her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage therapy experience.
Love you forever.
Go ahead and give her a call, 954-655-9000. That's 954-655-9000.
You pick me up when I fall. You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend. Girl, I don't know about you, but I
remember now,
when
you schedule your appointment, there are certain things you need to take into consideration.
Girl, I don't know about you, but
she comes to her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage therapy experience and them healing heavenly hands.
Girl.
So you're gonna be in a transcended to this space that you're probably not familiar with, and you'll fall asleep on her table. So she only has one request outside of paying her, that you get off her table and go sleep somewhere else. It's called the Kevin Stew Clause. Because believe me, I'm guaranteed to fall asleep on her table every time.
Don't forget everything we've been through. I hope you know that.
I want to say thank you to Reggae Global Entertainment.
And yeah, I was a little bit toxic.
Reggae Global takes access your booking agents, handle your tour management. They'll take care of your business registration, legal service referrals, music production, marketing and promotion, and much, much more.
Forever.
Give them a call, 954-804-8199. Or check them out online, reggaeglobal.com. Tell them Kevin Stew sent you.
You're my best friend.
Thank you to McNeil Trucking. With McNeil Trucking, your goods are in good hands. They're licensed and insured movers in the state of Florida. So you want to move from point A to point B, put some things in storage, don't have the manpower, the equipment, the transportation, no worries, you have the phone number and you have the name. McNeil Trucking, 954-406-9740. That's 954-406-9740. McNeils are awesome. Call them up. Tell them you heard about them on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew.
You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend. Just part the life. I'm so grateful, and I'm so thankful for life, for love.
This one Stick the artist kicking us off. His track called Love You Forever.
You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend. Who
Inviting you to call a friend, tell a friend, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too. Because the info is good for everyone. Don't be stingy with it.
I am never giving up.
Hey Nadia, how you doing?
As long as we're together, I'm alright.
Wanna say blessings to my massive out there in Brazil.
Gonna love
Mauricio, how you doing, bro?
forever and ever, amen. Cause we've been through it all. You're
Inviting you to jump into the stew pot on kevinstew.com.
girl, you're my best.
If you're wondering what a stew pot is what others call a chat room.
I'm so good.
But we're kind of fancy on kevinstew.com, you know? So, although you'll go to kevinstew.com and see a button that says click here to join the chat, it's actually the stew pot.
Pick me up when I fall. You're my lover.
Now, you don't need to register. You can if you wish to. You don't need to offer your firstborn an internal organ or any kind of blood sacrifice.
I am here.
It's very free.
I can't go
Very, very free.
without you.
Just go to kevinstew.com and you click on that little join to chat
No,
and you're in.
never giving in. As long as we're together, I'm alright.
Numbers to call, numbers to text. 773-789-STEW.
Forever and
It's right there at the bottom of your screen, right? Scrolling right across the bottom of your screen. Right on tonight's topic
pick me up.
of spiritual connections.
You're my
What
love
kind of connection you looking for?
friend. Just part the life.
The number is 773-789-STEW.
I'm so
773-789-7839. You can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp, you can Telegram from wherever you are in the world. You don't have to be right here in Florida or the United States.
pick me up when I fall. You're my lover, girl. You're
So Mixmaster J,
friend.
I know it's early over there in the UK, but
Know that
you can link up.
I
What's your take? Are you looking for love or are you looking for that spiritual connection? What are you looking for?
am never giving up. No, I am never giving in. As long as we're together, I'm alright. Girl, I'm gonna love you forever.
Now the phone lines are always open, just so that you know, right?
Forever and ever, amen. Cause we've been through it all.
And remember,
Pick me up when
oh, big ups to those on Zeno FM and those on Clubhouse, those on YouTube Live. When you go to kevinstew.com, you have two options to watch the broadcast live.
I'm so
You have the player that is on the website, and above the chat and below the chat, there's a YouTube Live link. So you have options. You don't have an excuse. But you can also listen live straight from the website on TuneIn Radio. And any of the affiliate stations that you're tuned in from, no worries.
when I fall. You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend.
Those on Facebook Live, those on Clubhouse, remember it's only a segment broadcast, so don't get too comfortable. You're eventually going to have to use that link coming over to kevinstew.com.
My life, I am never giving up.
So as we go on this journey, wondering what it is that we're looking for, what we want to find, just know that there's this thing called love, and everybody looks for it, right? Everybody wants this love, and whichever way, however far it takes you, you just know that you're looking for this thing that Disney says shows up and gives you butterflies in your stomach, and just so that you know, if you want to get rid of butterflies in your stomach, just stop eating caterpillars. Simple. What are my friends on Facebook Live saying? Okay, I need a translation for that one, Mauricio. Oh, much love, bro, much love. Everybody's saying, one day at a time. Yes, my dear. Definitely. If you take 2 days at a time, you're gonna have problems. So just live this moment because it's a gift. That's why it's called the present. Yeah? Cool. So, as we go through tonight's broadcast, we're looking for this thing called love. Are we, though? And what is love as we know it? Do you think it is just that feeling? Do you think it is that thing that hits you upside the head unexpectedly? Or do you have to know the person to love them? Do you have to have everything in common? Do you is that what love is? So according to Sahaj online, sahajaonline.com, there's a concept of love that many of us don't really take time out to recognize. Miss Do, how you doing? Good to see you. There's an article that reads in one of my recent online meditation sessions. I decided to choose a topic of love and its spiritual significance. Love, an ages old feeling and phenomenon that it is perhaps most widely and loosely used in our lives. To confirm this, the writer goes on to say, I started looking up the dictionary meaning of the word and was hardly surprised at how the world understands it. So they say the meanings got more and more ridiculous and plainly wrong as I went down the list of various definitions of love. Now, do you take it from the Bible and where you see love is kind, love is gentle, love is not boastful, all the beatitudes of love? Or do you look at it differently? Hey Dora, big ups to the Radio Crystal Gospel crew. Much love to you down there in Brazil. Big ups, big ups, big ups. God bless. Now, one definition says a profoundly tender and passionate affection for another person. That's how the one definition of love. And Sahaja says, that was just too shallow. Another one says a feeling of a warm personal attachment for a parent, child, or friend. And Saraja says, I'd argue that it's quite the opposite. Those who love do so without any attachments. Now, when I saw that, I was starting to think, oh, Saraja, you getting deep right off the bat. Okay, let's see what else the dictionary had found. And Saraja thought of it. Sexual passion and desire. Now, it was clearly time to toss the dictionary, Saraja says, as useless for understanding what love really is. So, let's try to understand what love really means at a very evolved level of existence in a spiritual person's life. Now, when you get into spirituality, it's a little bit different from other aspects of life. So, before we get to explaining love as a feeling of or an emotion, there's an even more important definition to be understood. What we often refer to as the all-pervading energy of power is, in fact, a real and pure energy in the spiritual realm that embodies love. This energy that exists everywhere in the universe and transcends space and time is filled with compassion and benevolence. As a force of nature, it's always working towards making good things happen in this world and human beings. It can never hurt anyone and tries hard to protect nature's creation from harm. Now, when you hear things like that, you immediately go to individuals like Mahatma Gandhi, right? And you'd go to individuals, I'd say individuals like Mahatma Gandhi and characters like Jesus, because nobody that we know knows Jesus. So I'm not saying Jesus is fictitious. Don't get it twisted. Not what I'm saying at all. So I'll even say names like Jesus and Mahatma Gandhi. When you hear a definition like that of love, right? Those are the people that come to mind. Now, more specifically, when we talk about a spiritual connection to the universe, we refer to the connection of our inner spiritual being with this all pervading power of love. Our spiritual beings become one with it, and as a result, our being also gets nourished with love, compassion, benevolence, and in general with positive emotions and feelings. This directly results in our spiritual self improvement. Cognitive strategies for self improvement and changing our personality traits is extremely hard, and the scientific studies show that this is rare to measure and achieve a quantifiable improvement in one's personality. The only real situation is then a viable spiritual method. And that only happens when, with the sheer force of love percolating our beings, not just a spiritual phenomenon, but making a practical and real impact in our day to day behavior. The sensation of this power of love, is what we call a vibration. And so, some people talk about there's this vibe that they get with someone. So, love as a feeling, yeah, we can feel it. This energy, we can feel it. We describe it as vibrations, a tingling, cool sensation on our fingers, and a real sensory perception on our central nervous system. We feel it, right? It also has varying levels of intensity depending on the statute of our chakras and energy channels. For the first time, human beings can feel the power of love as a real sensation and experience, in addition to experiencing this emotion. Anyone that Cautious Creation says love is just another four-letter word. Well, if that's how you see it, why? What? How do you describe the thing that connects you with someone differently from it connects someone else? The thing that connects you to a partner, the thing that connects you to a sibling, the thing that connects you to a neighbor, the thing that connects you to a child, your parent. What do you describe that thing as? Is it just energy for you? Is it just a vibe? We speak about our chakras all the time. And if you don't, you've heard about chakra. But somewhat lesser about the energy channels or nadis. Now, these channels represent our tendencies and disposition towards life, the divine, and people, including ourselves. They govern attitudes we exhibit and shape our personalities. In perfect balance, we make the optimal use of our energy channels. We're neither overly emotional, nor are we devoid of them. We are not too lethargic, nor are we overactive. We aren't unduly attached to anything or anyone, but are not uncaring either. Our left energy channel, getting down into a little bit into the chakra and the energy channels, our left energy channel, the Ida Nadi, as it is called in Sanskrit, gives us the feeling of love and in general governs our emotional functioning and energies. The stronger and more balanced this channel, the more we're loving and lovable personalities. Now, if you haven't gotten involved in spirituality and things relating to spirituality versus religion, because the two are not the same, but are linked. And so those that are spiritual tend to view things a little bit differently from those who are religious. Then the ones who are religious tend to base their beliefs and their reasoning on a particular the a particular religion, the doctrines of a particular religion, whereas those who are spiritual will recognize, observe, and take into consideration the doctrines of many religions in order to have a better understanding of how we relate to each other spiritually. So those are the two differences there. Missing some comments here on Facebook Live. Miss Mention, good evening to you. Welcome to the night shift. Oh, blessings to you, Mauricio. Blessings to your family also. Big ups to the Brazil Massive. I can't tell you guys how much I love you guys too. And you know, this is what one of the things that we're talking about. If here is someone that we've never physically met, but yet still we have this connection, albeit by way of digital media. But does it mean that this connection does not exist? Does it mean that I don't show genuine concern for them and them for me? And if you want to classify that as caring, when does it move from caring to love? And what is the difference with the two? Can you care for someone without loving them? And can you have love for someone without caring about them? And it is with that we look past the definitions of things we know here in the Western world. And I've gone to more along the lines of Eastern philosophies to bring you this information, courtesy of Sahaja Online. Now, what we're going to do is take a quick break. During this break, we're going to part company with those on Clubhouse and those on Facebook Live. So this is where you use up that link that is pinned in the comment section and in the description. And come over to kevinstew.com. Again, the options for you to listen, you have 2 ways to watch. You have a chat room. Just click on the chat to chat here. Click here. Click on that. It takes you over to the chat room, the stew pot, where we keep things interactive and bubbling. And you can listen by way of tune in on kevinstew.com. And those who are listening on our affiliate stations, much love to you. You can stay right where you are, but be interactive. Go ahead and send me a message. 773-789-STEW. 773-789-7839. Please, let me hear from you. I live for feedback. So give me some feedback. All right? Cool. We're going to be back in just a few as we part company. Let me remind you, those of you who don't know, you can do some shopping at my store. Which store? My Mary Kay store. Yes, I am an independent Mary Kay consultant and I got involved because of the skincare. Now, just to remember, we all have skin, both men and women. So we both need to take care of our skin. And if you look through my social media, you'll see me with one picture with me wearing this pink clay. Yes, that is for my skin. I use it too. Every now and then, I need to pamper myself. So you can get pampered too, gentlemen and ladies. You can do the pampering. So whether it is your brother, your uncle, your father, your dad, whomever, don't worry. There's stuff for men too. So there's face care, there's beard care, there are fragrances. Go to marykay.com/KevinStew and get some products for the men in your life today. And there's this awesome product called the CC cream. It's a skin balancing or skin tone balancing cream. It's not your heavy powder or any type of powder at all. It's just a cream that you apply to your skin. It balances out the skin tone nicely and it doesn't look any funny kind of way. This picture that you see on your screen is a real friend of mine that she got a little pampering session done. She came to visit me. She got the satin hands treatment and she did a little bit of face care, ending with the CC cream, and that's the end result. and she loved it. So you can get yours too. All right, visit the Mary Kay store, marykay.com/Kevin Stew.
Pulsey Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsey Media Group.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school,
In math,
I learned that I'm ugly
I
and
learned
useless.
that I'm trash.
And in gym,
In biology,
I learned that I'm
I
pathetic
learned that I'm fat
and a
and
joke.
stupid.
In history,
Today in
I learned that
school,
I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick.
And in
And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell.
and in
In chemistry, I learned that no one
In
likes me.
biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid.
In English,
And in
I learned
math,
that I make people
I
sick.
learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today
The only thing I didn't learn today
The only thing I didn't learn
Is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Reggae Global Entertainment presents the brand new self-titled album from Yishka with 9 great songs. Oh, Baby, Let Me Love You.
Oh, baby.
Be Grateful for Life.
Be grateful for life.
Shake You Down.
Girl, I wanna shake you
What else can I do?
What else can I do?
Babe, Come Over.
Baby, come over.
My. It's our time
It's our time. You know I love you.
for your love.
For your love, I would do anything.
I'm falling.
I'm falling in love again.
Yishka. 9 great songs. Available on all streaming platforms.
You sure look good tonight.
Available now.
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin Stew, working on the night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the weather, just to please the devil never. Well, DJ Kevin Stew sell his soul, that's a word and honor. It's Christine representing word and honor. Celestia DJ Kevin Stew.
I'll always love you. You know that I do. I do. I gave you life. You brought me joy. as you go on. My love will be a shelter from the storm. In my heart forever, I'll never let you go. Never let you go. I'll never let you go. Never let you go. In my heart forever, I'll never let you go. Never let you go. I'll never let you go. Never let you go. You know that I do, yeah. I'll always love you. You know that I do, yeah. I'll always love you.
The sound of Empress Unique bringing us back from the break. A track called I'll Always Love You. Brand new music from her.
I gave you life, you brought me joy. I love you more.
Now there are some people that you give life biologically,
I'll lay for
and some you give life spiritually.
eyes to guide and provide, give you a better life. In my heart,
Which one is it that you do? Which one is it that you aspire to do?
never let you go. I'll never let you go. Never let you go.
And do you plan to be one to love forever?
I'll never let you go.
If you are,
Let you go.
what does that look like?
Go.
How do you go about doing that?
I do. You know that I do.
Those who have been together for many, many eons,
I'll always love.
how do you do it?
You know that I do.
According to SahajaOnline.com,
I'll always.
when we truly love someone, we don't worry about expecting anything in return. It is unconditional. You know, some people talk about having unconditional love. Well, what exactly is that for you? Is it unconditional up to a point, and then conditions apply? And when we are not needy or dependent on them, we care for them and they are in our attention. We do not, but we're not so attached that our lives and emotions become hard to manage if they do not behave in a certain way towards us. Now, at that point, things can get a little bit hairy. Because typically, when people start behaving differently towards us, we kind of dissociate from them. And we start dealing with them differently. And what happens is what is considered to be a breakdown in the relationship. But is there really? Or is just a breakdown in how you operate within the parameters of the relationship? We exude and feel the positive energy in their presence, but our disappointments are also limited in such relationships. The adage of setting those who we love free actually happens in true love. Wow. I remember talking with someone at one point electronically, and we were discussing love, and I asked, so how do you define love? And what came back to me was something that I use to define love, and that is how you hold a butterfly without preventing it from flying. And I'll let you think about that for a moment, and y'all can tell me how you would hold a butterfly in such a way that it can actually fly again. The biggest confusion and distorted definition of love is the one associated with romance. having provided so many alternative definitions of true love as a form of spiritual energy, as a vehicle of compassion and pure relationships, and equating it to romance definitely makes it look very mundane. Romance is a real feeling, but it is a product of our minds. It may give us some excitement. True love, on the other hand, is a universal power, a lot deeper and long-lasting than romance. One could also say that romance is typically based on shallower considerations, such as physical attraction, the need to mate and find company. That is our more basic instinct, or baser, not one of our higher instincts. With true love, we become more powerful, independent, and a source of strength to the people we love. Romance can also be harmful to our emotional well-being at times, but love, that's always healing and energizing. Yet another misconception that sexual feelings constitute love. Once again, this cheapens the power and concept of love even more. No, that's not to say that sexual feelings are bad or unnecessary. Not at all. I get them all the time, You should have them all the time. And if not, you need to probably ask yourself why. What's going on there? Do I need to see a doctor about this? But it's just that these feelings don't constitute love. They may arise out of love for someone, but they still do not represent love, not love in and of itself. A lot of people think they are driven by love when, in fact, it's just lust. And, not judging anyone. Oh, sorry, strange things happening here. I have a bandage on my leg because I pulled a muscle, and bandage came loose. That's why you see me looking down like this. Those of you who are not seeing me, you don't have to worry about it. I'm okay. The mere fact that people who are driven by love when it's in fact lust tend to be in relationships that burn out like starlights. It's real pretty and bright in the beginning. But just when you start enjoying it, that's when it's done. Poof. Gone. When true love fills our being, we have no difficulty forgiving others. Forgiving becomes universal and nearly instantaneous. Wow. It's so difficult to forgive people when they hurt us, isn't it? And it's not quite something that is taught in our households. It's definitely not taught in our schools. And some in our churches struggle to find it. So, what is it that we're teaching each other? What is it we're teaching our children? What is it we are teaching our parishioners in our churches? What is that? Possession? Ownership? Ruling? Dictatorship? Once you get started with the practice of sahaja, you will immediately realize that a childlike innocence pervades your being. You'll find yourself becoming less complicated in your thinking and attitude towards life. Think of how you felt when you were a 5-year-old, carefree, playful, joyous, and eager to learn many things. Relationships were simple and straightforward, and you could not think of complicated things. There were no conditions for you to love anyone. There was also very little, if anything at all, to substantiate hatred. It wasn't there. And this childlike behavior was a powerful attraction for every grown up around you. It's that simple. Pure power of love that makes children the center of everyone's attention. You ever notice that? A child would walk into a room and everybody lights up. Even if you don't like the child's parents. It puts a smile on your face. Their innocence. And they don't know what is going on between the parents, the adults. They just see people, they just feel love, and they just move. But it's the love that is coming out of them because they don't know what's going on with you. And they don't care. It is possible for grown-ups to be like that when we discover the pure love within us and re-establish it through our spiritual awakening. Again, like I said, there's a difference between being spiritual and being religious. And I'm not taking anything away from those who are religious. I'm not bashing anybody that's religious. I grew up in church. I still go to church today on occasions. I'm a musician in many of the churches that I've been to. But that, what I've learned in church and what I've learned having a spiritual connection with Source is a little bit different. Not taking anything away from church or those who that is their primary source of connection. No. I'm just saying, for me, it's different. Now, unfortunately, flirtatious behavior and having roving eyes do not align with true love either. It is rare for someone to say they're flirting with someone out of love for them, unless they're doing this in jest with their partner. Those who genuinely love others have nothing but uncertain, nebulous, insecure, or secretive. Well, they have nothing to be uncertain, nebulous, insecure, or secretive about in their relationship. They just show up and show out to that person. And those who are around them at that time get to experience it. They get to be a part of it. The famous notions that God is love and love is God, these are indeed real. This all-pervading power of love that we access in the spiritual realm is indeed the realm of the divine. Now, in turn, divinity means that we have pure and abundant love for others. Through practice, meditation, it becomes much easier to find, understand, and experience true love. But not only that, you can also emanate this energy of love to the world around you, leaving everyone wondering what that special glow that you have is. And some of them start to ask, where can they get it? What products are you using? But just to know that you're not confined by the thoughts of society as they dictate or as they perceive this thing called love to be, because it transcends that. So then you have to ask the question, okay, so if love is one way and there's a spirituality, is there a thing called spiritual love? And how does that spirituality come into play in relationships as we know it? Thriveworks.com had an article by Taylor Bennett. And in it, Taylor says, as with many questions about our spirituality, there's one definition or example of spiritual love. And that said, spiritual love can refer to a love that is rooted or supported by a deep spiritual connection that helps us find meaning in life. Sometimes these spiritual loves are meant to last. Here's the kicker. Sometimes they're meant to merely guide us in the right direction and then leave us to it. Dr. Elise Holland says, people come into our lives for either the blessings of either for life blessings or life lessons. When partners are connected to their spirituality, then they can identify the purpose of a relationship. So, with life blessings, Holland basically means when she says people come into our lives to serve as life blessings, she is saying they complement and further our efforts in building a meaningful life. Like individuals may come together to raise children or create something for humanity. That's a life blessing. A life lesson? When one or the other partner has life lessons to work on that the soul needs to learn, that involve healing childhood emotional issues such as abandonment, rejection, or personal power issues, then he or she attracts the perfect soulmate to help him or her grow spiritually. Now, with a definition like that, you start to look at soulmates a little bit differently, right? It doesn't quite look the same as that individual that is all googly-eyed and you have these romantic rendezvous and excursions together. It's a little bit different. How can we determine a partner's purpose then when we take that into consideration? Someone coming in for a life lesson or a life blessing. Their purpose isn't revealed until later in the relationship. Now that said, as Holland, when we take the time to connect to our spiritual selves, to meditate, spend time in nature, surrender to art, worship, or religion, or even tap into our spirituality in another way, then we start to see answers. Now remember, spirituality is connecting to something bigger than ourselves. It's practicing peace and purpose, which might involve asking ourselves questions like, how can I find fulfillment? You've ever asked yourself that question? What is my purpose in life? How can I live the best life possible? Those types of questions. Have you asked them? And if not, ask yourself that now and see if you can answer it. While some people connect to their spiritual selves by turning to their religion, and others find it in nature or art or spirituality. Nature or art or spirituality often has a heavy influence on every area of life. Therefore, our spirituality or lack of it can have an impact on our relationships. So Holland says, a lack of spirituality can harm relationships because individuals may not understand who they are fully. Therefore, if they are not aware of their life purpose, then they may select partners who are not in support of their life purpose. For instance, individuals who are working towards entrepreneurship need to make sure that they are connecting with others who are community helpers and have a heart to serve and a passion to be a beacon of light for others. Now, if they do not select a partner who has a complementary or shared interest, then they will be conflicting regarding their choices, resulting in communication breakdown and other negativities that will impede the progress of the relationship. It will also impact their lives. Well, I guess if it impedes the relationship, then the relationship as an extension of them, now it's going to definitely impact their life, right? So, two important questions here have been addressed. What is spiritual love? And how does spirituality come into play in relationships? So let's sum it up. Spiritual love simply refers to a love rooted and supported by a spiritual connection. We went through the whole idea of spirituality in the first segment. Furthermore, and we concluded it just now in the second. Furthermore, our spirituality can help us understand why someone has entered our life. Whether it is to assist our efforts in creating a meaningful life or teach us an important lesson that supports our growth. And finally, if a relationship lacks a spiritual connection, whether it's one-sided or two-sided, the relationship might suffer. Not to say that it will. Some of them manage with a lot of, prayer and supplication, whichever way they use, perspiration and a little bit of inspiration. But it is important to tune into our spiritual selves in order to maintain the quality and longevity of our relationships. Because at that point, we start to recognize who we truly are. At that point, we can say, hey, this is who I am. Who are you? And if you can accept each other at that point for who you truly are, being your authentic selves, and you're comfortable with that, now you start to talk about a different type of relationship. Because if you look at how you are with your best friend of, 15 years, 20 years, this is your friend. This isn't your sibling. This isn't your relative. This is just someone that you met as you traverse this life. And you have remained connected, good times and bad. Then you recognize that you have a different connection. This type of connection is that spiritual connection. This is that type of unconditional love that they're talking about here. Because it's not something that you yourself can say that you are cultivating. Yes, the relationship takes work, and that work came as a result of taking the time out to understand what it is that your friend is dealing with. Understanding who they are. And these are the people that know you because you get to be yourself with them without judgment. And once you can start to foster those relationships, then the more people you can foster that type of relationship with, the more people that get to see the authentic you, and the more you get to be your authentic self. Not just a facade that you put on to make this person more comfortable because you want to be around them for this particular thing that you can get from them. Yeah, we use each other. Don't get it twisted. We do it every day. Especially in Western culture. I don't know what it is about us. I can't speak for the Eastern culture because I don't live it. But I try to find people who do so that I can learn how the culture differs there from here. And how our lifestyles are affected by it. So if you know people from the East, I'd love to connect with them. Because I love learning about things like that. So it's time for another break. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more. Looking at this thing, this whole spiritual love connection. And so we look for some signs that will tell us that we have a spiritual connection. How do you know if you have a spiritual connection? We'll be right back after these messages. Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Making great music is one thing, sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. Specializing in artist management, booking, public relations and marketing, and promotion, Reggae Global Entertainment can help you with event planning, websites, photography, and video production, press releases, legal services, and graphic design. They can even help you with music production, so you can get the sound that you want every time. Call Reggae Global Entertainment at 954-804-8199. That's 804-8199. Or visit them online at reggaeglobalentertainment.com. Teddy Greaves Jr. with 6 brand new songs out now on his brand new EP, Teddy Greaves Jr. with songs you know and love like Can You Stop the Rain? One Last Cry. Can't Get Over You. Wait Too Long. You and I. And One Last Cry, the acoustic version. Teddy Greaves Jr., now available on all major digital platforms. Teddy Greaves Jr.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
Hey yo, this is Carman to let you know that right about now you are logged on to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. Don't move.
Cannot be a game that has no conclusion. Love is not just a dream that's built on illusion. It's more than something to feel. You can taste it and touch it, it's real. Love is when two people make it, and nothing outside they can break it. If they understand that they can't command love to be where it cannot be free. Love is not just one night of moment of fire. It's a more than hunger inside that builds on desire. And it can't be bound by a chain. And it be sharing our love forever. Love is a season forever. When two people blend it together, but it cannot go unless both of them know they must give if their love is to live. And this is the kind of love that we know when we share. Girl, this is the kind of love that will always be there. Yes, love is what two people make it. Nothing outside cannot break it. If they understand that they can command love to be where it cannot be free. Whoa, I said love to be where it cannot be free.
The son of G. Cole bringing us back from the break. A track called What Is Love? Lie, that's not what it's called. It's called What Love Is. Yeah. This one released about 2 years ago. But it only leads me to ask the question, is this thing that we search for throughout our lives, is it really a love connection or is it a spiritual connection? And when we have a spiritual connection, are we aware of it? When we have found that love connection, do we know it?
To be where it cannot be free.
According to spiritrestoration.org, there is an article there which speaks to signs that you have a spiritual love connection. And the question is asked, have you ever thought about how you feel an instant spiritual love connection with your partner? You know, is it something that you're supposed to automatically feel? Is it something that you have to work on? This could be a feeling that tells you that you have found your true love. If that thing does exist. Now, don't worry, because if you have been feeling this way, then you are extremely lucky. Not everyone can experience a spiritual love connection. It is something that is felt by few lucky individuals. What exactly is spiritual love connection? In spirituality, it can be described as a feeling that connects you with your soulmate. Looking at that person, you know that person is your soulmate. But do you have to see them, or do you just be in their presence? Because if it's a spiritual thing, then it's not with your physical eyes that you make that you see them. It is not with a physical touch that you connect to them. Now, in this world, very few lucky people can experience this divine spiritual love connection. Even when it does happen, it doesn't happen often. God and the angels have blessed you with this powerful gift to make your life happy, rewarding, and exciting. Why is spiritual love connection important then? You start appreciating your partner more. Seeing and touching them brings you joy because of this connection. It all seems worth it. And even during troubled times, it becomes easier to go through it. This is due to the fact that you have such a loving, warm, and soulful bond with that partner. The ability to experience such a connection makes your love life magical and meaningful. When you are able to maintain your own space while loving this other person, it is an example of spiritual love. This love is free of any conditions, and neither of you has to follow any rules to be with each other. You love the other person despite their flaws, such as their irritating grin or their laziness. A spiritual love makes you embrace your partner fully without criticizing them every time for their shortcomings. Now, as a point to note, when it comes to relationships, we often define how we navigate those relationships by rules. Now, there's a difference between rules and guidelines. And as such, the end result of navigating the relationship, or the consequence of navigating the relationship and bending, breaking those rules versus navigating outside of those guidelines, the consequences are different. Because one, the consequence may be an argument, and the other, the consequence may be an argument and a breakup. Because you see, the argument then leads to a means to a resolve. Well, I guess both ways it leads to a resolve. But with one, the resolution is to dissociate. You break up. the other, it is to work through that situation and continue to build on what you have. And I believe that becomes easier with how your connection with that partner is. Is it a spiritual connection or is it just a love connection? And is it a spiritual love connection? Because now you're transcending the definitions as you know it, as you see it on Disney or Hollywood. It's different. When you have a spiritual love connection, you do not have any unrealistic expectations from each other. You don't have to change yourself to please them, and you feel that anything is possible with love. Every time you are together, all you feel is comfort and happiness. In each other's arms, you find peace, and you don't question each other's loyalty. There is no awkwardness between you two. Others find it difficult to understand the love between you and your partner, and it's not easy to explain. You just do. With the arrival of your partner, life has new meaning. It is no longer dull and you are motivated to try new things daily. Both of you go through tough times together and do not break up at the slightest inconvenience. Many couples now are busy dating each other without committing to their partners. This causes them to have rifts in their relationship. If you are in spiritual love, then that is not the case. Having a spiritual love connection with your partner, with your lover, makes you love them wholeheartedly. Experiencing this connection means you are not constantly worried about your partner's faithfulness. It means your partner gets to be who they are and you love them through it, and they get and vice versa. Because again, this connection is not a one-way connection. So you look at some relationships and you wonder, how does this even exist? How do they manage? How are they together this long? And it's simple. It goes beyond what you recognize as a relationship. Because you're not there yet. You have not matured to that level. You are confined by the rules of others versus the guidelines that you have recognized for yourself. When you experience spiritual love, you are not worried about your worst insecurities and fears. This is because in a love like this, you feel secure and comfortable. Your partner loves you for who you are and wholeheartedly accepts your imperfections. You're perfectly imperfect. Instead of criticizing you, they celebrate you in different ways. In today's world, couples hold each other to impossible standards. This does not bother you because your love does not demand anything in return. It only keeps on giving. And so it goes back to what I asked you about how you define how can you define how you see love? And I'll tell you, the image that I can think of how I define love, and as I said, it's like holding a butterfly. Butterflies have very delicate wings. Their wings have a particular type of powder on it. In fairy tale, it would be considered pixie dust. Yeah? And that's what causes them to fly. So, if you hold their wings, that dust comes off on your hands. And although their wings move, they can no longer take flight. So the dust comes off on your hands and the oil from your hands goes onto their wings and it changes the weight. And they're no longer able to just bounce off the air. And so they can no longer fly, they can no longer feed, they can no longer mate, they die. If that's how you hold on to love, that's exactly what is going to happen. Instead, if you hold that butterfly in the palm of your hand, keeping it open at all times, just like this, and that butterfly rests in your hand, and that is how you hold that butterfly, then you sustain its life. Because it is free to live. It is free to go about its merry way and come back if it so desires. But because of the love that you have for it, it has nothing to do with you. Butterfly rests and finds peace. And you support that butterfly by providing that restful place. If that changes things for you, and if that is how you love, then you love in a spiritual way. You do have that spiritual love connection. But if not, if it is defined by certain rules and guidelines, and if they don't do this, then it is no longer our relationship. Then that may be a problem. Spiritual love won't work if you are not honest with each other. Being truthful with your partner is very important in a spiritual love connection. It lays the foundation of your relationship and keeps you away from unnecessary worries. Many couples sometimes lie for trivial things, which can be quite damaging. Lying to each other can cause problems in the long run and is an important reasons for heartbreak. The constant lies and deceit make it unable to trust the other person. And trust can sometimes hurt, but it's always better to be open with your partner. Couples in a spiritual love relationship know the importance of honesty and are always on the same wavelength. This helps in developing their relationship in a better way. A relationship based on truth is a sure sign of a divine spiritual love connection. Now, if your love is spiritual, you are together for a reason and not for a convenience. Most couples are together because they are dependent on each other for life's hectic tasks. It makes living life easier because of what you have to do in life, or as it is defined by society. Now, these couples do look good together and will share a lot of common political, social, and other interests. If you see them together, they seem more like friends than partners because the love is missing. That spiritual love is missing. When you experience a spiritual love connection, things are quite different. You also face troubles like pettiness, jealousy, and insecurity. But none of these are enough to break you too, because your divine bond keeps you together and it holds you there nicely. In spirituality, looking into your partner's eyes is enough to convey your desires easily. It is very common to see a lack of communication between couples. Some of them feel that talking is a huge chore to do and are not comfortable with it. People in genuine spiritual love only have to look into each other's eyes to communicate. Their bond, that is so strong, it makes people wonder if they are under a spell. This is a sign of how much love they have for each other. When you feel a spiritual love connection with your partner, you grow as a person for the better. And this is because your lover doesn't hesitate to point out when you are on the wrong path. They give you constructive criticism so that you don't trip and fall in the complex journey of life. When your partner loves you wholly, they will never do anything that will lead you on the wrong path. It is not possible to achieve personal growth if your mistakes are pointed out and dwelled on. Spiritual love is the best form of love because you lift each other up and help each other when needed. Being in such a fulfilling relationship helps you experience what true joy and love is. Again, I gave you the description or the analogy of the best friend. That is the person who has been doing this for the duration of your best friendship. And many times people say, I want my partner to be my best friend. And they meet someone, make them their partner, and then expect them to become their best friend, versus meeting someone, them becoming their best friend, and they take each other on as partners. Now that's when things get different. Because at that point, if the sexual aspect of the relationship dies, there is something else to fall back on. And it is the thing that did not define that relationship. It is the thing that is the foundation of the relationship, and everything else that formed around it is like icing on the cake. And so the relationship is different. A genuine relationship means having mutual respect. This form of respect could mean different things, and is not restricted to a particular aspect. For some, respect means respecting the need for space and independence. For others, it could mean respecting opinions, views, and flaws of your partners or partner. A big sign that you are in a fulfilling relationship is if you embrace small differences of your partner fully. If either of you don't have a problem with the need for space and individuality, this is also an indicator. When you have a spiritual love connection, the very foundation of your relationship is based on respect. The feeling of respect should come from within you. To have mutual respect, you need to be open-minded and accepting of everything. Only then can you experience a well-balanced, genuine, and meaningful love life. What is then that meaningful conversation? If it isn't that frivolous, everyday conversation that you have, what's the meaningful conversation? These are the ones that help you get a different and new perspective on certain matters. The best part is it could be about anything. It could be about the future, aliens, technology, cartoons. A sign that you're experiencing a spiritual love connection is when you and your partner frequently indulge in meaningful conversations. It's a clear indication of how you both enjoy each other's company. And this is quite rare among couples. And if you both find yourself doing this, you are basically a perfect match for each other. It shows your willingness to bond with each other on a different level. Both of you know life is not to be wasted on talks about trivial matters. If it matters to you, though, it's not trivial. And if you both can recognize that and understand it and work through that and then be engaged in that discussion, that's a different type of connection. Most people think spiritual love connection is only restricted to the mind and soul. That is also not true, because love includes physical intimacy. There's a desire to be with the person every time and indulge in deep, intimate physical interactions and reactions. Having sex is not only about fulfilling lust, it also means opening up yourself to your partner in the most intimate way possible. Intimacy, as explained to me by a friend, is taking that word and breaking it up into 3 other words. Into, me, see. And so when you take it that way, it gives you a better understanding of what intimacy is. You have no fear of being judged or criticized when you submit fully to your partner, your lover. In spirituality, a spiritual love involves an electric physical connection, as well as that connection that is spiritual. When you feel a strong physical connection, that strong physical attraction, making love makes you feel happy and warm inside. It is now no longer about fulfilling bodily needs, but the coming together of two souls. You are vulnerable while also being comfortable at the same time. Starting a spiritual journey is quite important. But doing it with your partner can be more rewarding for you. You are lucky if you share an intense spiritual love connection with the person you love. Let me say that again. You are lucky if you share an intense spiritual connection, spiritual love connection with the person you love. Do not take your partner for granted. Appreciate them. Love them, as I would say. And focus on building a stronger relationship. Understand, though, if you do not have this spiritual love connection, it doesn't mean that the relationship needs to end. But if you do come across that spiritual love connection, you'd have to find a way to navigate going through that. If there's someone of the opposite sex with whom you can have that type of relationship that you're currently in, then you're going to have to find a way to navigate that. And to each, based on their beliefs, based on how they see life, based on how they were taught life is to be, how relationships are to be, it's different. But the moment you are true to you and true to them in this connection, this spiritual love connection, is the moment nothing else matters. Because through anything, you're able to operate with this person. You're able to navigate this situation with this person, providing that support to you. That support that you cannot explain. Because it's a connection that you cannot explain. Because mere mortals have no words. Or simply because the English language doesn't have any words, and you don't know any other language but the English language. It could be that too. Maybe you need to find an older language where other feelings have definition. And there are things that cannot be explained by way of the English language, because, you know, things get translated into English and it loses its true value, its true definition. And so we navigate this life based on the limited parameters of our language. Me, I'm bilingual. I speak English and I speak Patois. And, you know, between the two of them, I can't find words to describe some of the connections that I have. Can you? Throughout my life, I've questioned people that have come and gone. Right now, as an adult, living in this time and this space, with the things that I have learned today, I look back and I question. And some of the answers are beyond my scope of imagination, because the things that I'm learning now and looking back at those relationships, I'm saying, wait, this was something that had no definition at the time. How do I explain this? Have you had similar experiences? Are those experiences with the opposite sex? Are those experiences with people that you have been sexually involved with? Are those experiences with people that you have been intimate with? Notice I separated the two. Because intimacy doesn't mean sexual, nor does sexual define intimacy. Being sexual is an aspect of being intimate, and can also be vice versa. But because prostitution is the oldest profession on the face of the planet, many have been sexual, but not intimate. So you see where the difference lies. And if you take these things into consideration as you navigate moving forward, there's nothing that we can do about what we've gone through already. But moving forward, you always have the opportunity to make better. Not necessarily to fix, to make better. Take the time to make better. And see how you feel about it. Give it a try. Hit me up and tell me what your experiences have been. Reach out to me, 773-789-STEW. You can call me and just start talking. 773-789-7839. I don't have to know who you are. I'd love to hear your story. And if you want to become friends with me as a result of your story and being able to share that with me, then fine, I'm cool. I'm down with that. Because through these connections, we grow. Share your story with me. Let me know how it goes. As we get into this musical therapy segment, courtesy of McNeil Trucking. Thank you very much, McNeil Trucking.
Black love is all about unity. It's us.
It's kicked off with Caramanti, a track called Black Love.
So make we talk for a second about this. Cause every goddess when me know want this. Fi in love, peaceful and bliss. A black love full of chocolate kiss. Black moments make we reminisce. Light your spliff if you drink, take a sip. Tonight sex enough we target. Cause I've got something better. I swear to God I do. I've got a man that loves me and reads to me too. Him take me on a level, nothing left to do but confess that I love him, and that's the truth. He reads to me, he teaches me, that pleases me. Black love so sweet. He lays with me and plays with me all day with me. Black love in me. Oh, are we connected through time and space? The love strong, stronger than the black race. Have your magic anytime we embrace. Me love your king, I will never embrace. The man go deep, deep in the bookcase. Stroke me body plus me mental space. Spiritually I have to elevate. Cause I've got something better. I swear to God I do. I've got a man that loves me and reads to me too. Him take me on a level, nothing left to do but confess that I love him, and that's the truth. He reads to me, he teaches me, that pleases me. Black love so sweet. He lays with me and plays with me all day with me. Black love indeed. Oh, I miss enough for them I try. Announce love but I lie, them I lie. Them couple up but me want know why. Cause every other month I just fight them a fight. Before long one of them take flight. Quit the team cause the team never tight. Me heart goes out, that's not right. But not enough in me black life. Hey. Yeah, a Caramanti. Yeah. Black love, family.
Just wanna let you know you're still on my mind. And sometimes I just go through my own things, you know, and I get busy.
This is Paul Anthony working out with Maurice Gregory.
Don't take it personal.
Track called When You Need Me.
When you need me, I'll be there for you. Even if we don't talk all the while, I'll still care for you. When you need me, I'll be always here. Even when I don't pick up the phone, it don't mean I don't care.
It's just somehow I'm always busy.
It's hard to get a life when you have to make a living. I know I got some family and friends out there who me no link with our chat to in months and years, yeah. It no fear, it I swear. But if I say I love you, that means I still care. Trust me, sometimes I gotta walk alone, but I'll be back home real soon.
When you need me, I'll be there for you. Even if you don't talk all the while, I'll still care for you. When you need me, I'll be always here. Even when I don't pick up the phone, don't mean I don't care.
Well, I'm not the best at reaching out and keeping in touch, but I promise to try to do better. Cause if I lose you tomorrow, my friend, I would wish we could spend more time together. Yeah, my only regret, make more time for the people I can't forget. Before they're just a memory, I forgive thanks for the love that you're giving me, and push right through the anxiety.
When you need me, I'll be there for you. Even if you don't talk all the while, I'll still care for you. When you need me, I'll be always here. Even when I don't pick up the phone, it don't mean I don't care. It's been a long time since I've seen you, yeah. But still you're on my mind. Oh,
miss you, you know.
Such a long time since we lost out, but the love doesn't decline. I'm here for you when all is lost. So say the word when you need me. I'll be there for you. Even if you don't talk all the while, I'll still care for you. When you need me, I'll be always here. Even when I don't pick up the phone, suddenly appear every time you are near. Just like me, they long to be close to you.
This is new music from Marcia J. Ball. It's called Close to You.
Decided to create a dream come true.
Yeah, Marcia J. Ball double play. This time she's working out with Aura Janai. Check call another love song.
Goes wrong, floating on a melody of what it really feels to be loved. Moments of emotion shared by two who really, really care. I'm caught up in the rapture of you, and I don't wanna let go. Your love is my resource, my constant comfort zone, and I come to you whenever I'm feeling alone. You never let me down. You always lift my spirit. So grateful that you're with me. I'm thankful that you are so caught up in another love song, praying that it never goes wrong, floating on a melody of what it really is to be loved. Moments of emotion shared by two who really, really care. I'm caught up in the rapture of you, and I don't wanna let go. I look forward to every day, even days you stay away. Couldn't have you falling prey to someone else's charms. I love it when you're near me, love. That's when I think clearly, love. Know this might seem selfish, but I really do not care. When you work on trust and you don't stop riding waves of love and build it up, take a leap of faith and don't give in. Love one another. If your love is like an open door, make sure you get what you're looking for. Grab a hold on life and don't let go. Love one another. I'm so caught up in another love song, praying that it never goes wrong, floating on a melody of what it really feels to be love. Moments of emotion shared by two who really, really care. I'm caught up in the rapture of you. Your love is my resource.
It's been a while since I've been trying to get you in my life, oh girl.
This is Phil Watkins working out with Anne Marie.
Today I gotta make you mine. Don't listen to what people say.
The track is called Give You My Love.
Anywhere. I've got so much love to share. Like make a child my own. Let me give you my love. Let me give you my love. Let me satisfy all your needs. Satisfy. On my mind, I love you from a long time. But in my past, nothing lasts. I don't wanna move too fast. Scared to give my heart away, even from my past mistakes. If it's real, then you will wait. I wanna give you my all. Then you give me your love. If you do stick around, then you can satisfy all my needs. Girl, I can't wait to hold you in my arms, and I just want to please you all night long. The love we share is more than just a fleshly thing. So take my hand and bow before the King of Kings. Then you give me your love. If so, I'm totally yours. Then you can satisfy all my needs. I know everything takes time, so I'll be patiently waiting for you, lady. They say patience is a virtue, and time will never hurt you. And I will have to let you know if the vibe's not low. Let me give you my love. If you
George Prophet. The track is called Into My Arms.
I just wanna shelter you from the storm. I know you will face a lot of 4 days. And sometimes the pressure is too much to take. I know sometimes you're feeling down and you are feeling low. But baby, this is something that you should know. Father, I wanna take you into my arms, and I just wanna keep you safe and warm. I just wanna take you into my arms. I just wanna shelter you from the storm. I know you will face rejections along the way, and so many guys try to keep you at bay. But I've been loving you better every day. I promise you I'll never lead you astray. So baby, let me take you into my arms, and I just wanna keep you safe and warm. I wanna take you into my arms. I just wanna shelter you from the storm. Please let me take you. I'll never forsake you. Promise I'll never let you go.
Only one that I live for. You can make me
This is Tenniel working out with Fiona.
more
A track called I'm in Love.
better in my life. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause if you feel the way I feel, then you know how I feel. And if you're with me in the morning, you will see. And if you know what I know, then you know, baby, that I'm okay with you. Day by day, I'm in love. I'm in
veteran musician, singer, and producer in the music business, Miss Annette Brissett. This track is called Just Want to Love You. I heard she tore up the stage this past weekend at Unifest in Lauderdale Lakes, Florida. What are you gonna tell them, Joanna?
Tell them about the things that you do to me.
Are you now?
Tell them you're my best boy and the best you'll always be.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
You're everything that's good, so good to me. I wanna be
The sound of Joanna Marie. Closing out our night shift for tonight. Closing out this musical therapy segment. Track called My Best Boy. I want to thank you each and everyone for tuning in. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for sharing. Thank you to my sponsors. Thank you to the affiliates. Do remember to catch me on Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern on Reggae Global Radio for the Saturday Stew. But as we part company, do remember, look out for members of your community. Your community is not just development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. So those that you pass on the bus, the plane, the boat, or the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is DJ Kevin Stew, so I like to do it to you, for you, and with you every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here, kevinstew.com and affiliates. Do remember, as we part company, to be good. If you can't be good at it. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world. From right here in South Florida, I bid you all a pleasant good night. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The night shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.